I want to ask one question, just kind of going back to your background. So you have this degree in computer science, and you spend a little bit of time doing that, and then realize you don't really maybe enjoy that or love that, or you feel called to product. What did you learn and appreciate from your time as an engineer, as a computer scientist, and then what do you think that added to the transition as you started to focus on product?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. For me, I at the company I worked at, Juno, we didn't have a product role. So as a software engineer, I was able to. I basically played a biz dev role, product role, a design. We didn't even have designers. I even designed the software I wrote, and then I actually wrote software. So I got to basically experience the entire product troika or quartet actually in one person. And I got to. I think the biggest learning with software engineering for me was it was more personal, that I felt I would be a very good software engineer, but not a great software engineer. And also, I felt I enjoyed it, but I enjoyed figuring out what to build much more than how to build it. And so I realized that what to build is, one of the things that product managers work on, and that's why I decided to move into product. I think what is interesting is 15 years ago, if you had asked me, I would have said, well, computer science or being a software engineer is the best way to be a product manager, but I no longer believe that. I've seen multiple paths to becoming a product person. Engineering is one path, design is another path. For example, Adam Mosseri, the CEO of Instagram, used to be a designer. Marketing is another part. Fiji Simo used to be a product marketer. She's the CEO of Instacart. She was a product leader at Facebook. She used to be a product marketer at eBay and then at Facebook, moved into product. And then finally, analysts, which is data driven folks, business analysts, product analysts are another great way to get into product. I have some of the best folks I've hired. A person called Jeff Iacono, who led product for Caviar, was essentially a product analyst before that. So I feel there's at least four and maybe even more, because you can't train to be a product person. A lot of it is intuition, creativity, pattern matching, analytics. It's a unique thing which only comes with experience. And you just, as long as you have, and I believe in the growth mindset. So I believe anyone can become a product manager if they essentially put the effort into learning the various components of it and get exposed to enough reps doing it.
What do you attribute that change to? You talked about early on, this kind of point of view that you had to have an engineering background. Is that because, because I guess my sense is product in a lot of ways has become more formalized and I think maybe a little bit more universal and a little bit more institutionalized. Am I right there? Am I wrong there? What's
I
your
think you're
take?
absolutely right. I think the reason is because the earlier software products were somewhat esoteric, like they were operating systems and they were quite esoteric to build. So the Microsoft back in the 80s and 90s, which were when some of the first product managers were working on Sun Microsystems, they were extremely technical environments, and the products are also used by techies. They were not, or people who were in technology, they were not really broad-based products. With companies like Google, Facebook, etc., those are products that everybody could use, universal technology products. And so at that point, you just like with any other profession, you have a much broader range of people who can bring different kinds of insights and skills to designing these products because they're universal.